Thank you for watching this Spinitron tutorial. Spinitron is a playlist management service designed for radio stations to easily collect music reporting data. One of the many bases a station must cover to comply with copyright laws is reporting the sound recordings that we stream to the Sound Exchange. The Sound Exchange collects and distributes copyrights for recording artists and labels. This means it's imperative for DJs to fill out a Spinitron playlist for each musical broadcast. Not only is it a legal requirement, but it's also very helpful for our listeners. They can easily log on online and find out what song they heard earlier that day. And most importantly, we want to make sure that our musicians are getting paid their royalties and that we are lifting up local artists. So typically, a DJ is given a Spinitron account after their program application is approved and they're added to the program schedule. However, all on-air volunteers are encouraged to have one. For example, if you don't have a regularly scheduled time slot, but you like to submit shows once in a while, maybe you're a sub DJ, or you participate in special programming. To register for an account, you can reach out to program@kbu.org. It's important to note that anytime you play a song in its entirety, it must be reported. So for public affairs programmers, if you're only playing 30 seconds of a song for your theme song or your outro, you don't need to report it. But if you're playing the song in its entirety, then you will need to get a Spinitron account. Spinitron is a website, so you can access it from anywhere. It's also bookmarked on the Airroom computer, so you can easily log your playlist during your live broadcast. I would recommend bookmarking it on your personal computer if you're going to be logging from home. So this is the Spinitron website. You can see songs that are being played in real time, lighting up here and displayed down here, which is really cool. You can click log in the upper right-hand corner. Once you have an account, you can go ahead and log in. On the homepage, you'll see current and upcoming shows. This could be helpful if you are logging in right before your show broadcast. You can easily just find it here and click Create Playlist button for that program. And also, all your previous playlists are visible down here. You can click here to see more of them. There are many different ways to do any one task in Spinitron, so you can decide what works for you. But I'll highlight a few of the simplest ways to get around Spinitron. We'll start by creating a playlist. There are approximately 5 ways to create a playlist and 4 ways to reopen an existing playlist. And there will be a full tutorial on that linked in the handout that goes with this training. So you can go ahead and dive deeper if you'd like. One way to create a playlist is to go up to the playlist tab and down to new playlist 4. Underneath it, you'll see all the programs that you are affiliated with. And it'll take you to the playlist form. But I'm going to go back to show you another method. You can go up to playlist, and instead of new playlist 4, you can select new. And it'll take you to the list of programs where you can select whichever program you want to make a playlist for. So we'll select this one here. When you create a new playlist from an existing program, a lot of these fields will be preset, like the DJ, the duration of the program, the name, and the category. You'll still need to set the start date and time. If you went into your settings and filled out a description for your program, then that would be here too. This is extra. You can give a name to your episode and a description, although this information will not appear on the KBOO website. This is only for Spinitron, and I'll show you an example of that later. The third way to open a new playlist is to go to the Playlist tab, select New, but this time you select Use a Blank Playlist. You'll want to use the blank playlist option when you are creating a playlist for a program that is not regularly scheduled. For example, maybe you're subbing or doing special programming. As you can see on the blank playlist option, you'll need to come up with a name for your playlist, select the category. You'll always need to select the start time and date. You'll need to enter the duration, and it should be set to whatever account you're logged into as the DJ. You can fill out a description and the episode information again. The third way to get to a new playlist form is to find the program you're looking for on the program schedule. So I'm going to select this one. When you do it this way, it will already fill out the date and start time for you since you're selecting it right off the schedule. So we already covered how you fill out this information here. So once it's filled out, you can go ahead and click Submit. Now we can start entering spins. You can create a playlist before, during, or after your program airs. Depending on when you are filling out the playlist and your preferences, you'll want to adjust the playlist settings before you begin entering your spins. To access your playlist settings, click the cog icon in the upper right-hand corner. Under the timestamp automation, you'll want to select one of these options. So if you're filling out your playlist before or after it airs, you're going to want to select last song start time plus duration and hit submit. You are welcome to move the start time forward a minute or two to make up for the promos that air at the top of the program. It's okay if your spins are off by a minute or two. So now we can start entering our spins. So we're going to select an artist. And a song, the release or album, and the label. Those are the 4 fields that have to be filled out. This section, this block in the middle, is optional. If it is on a various artist compilation, you can go ahead and select that. If it is a local artist, you can check this box. You can select the genre and the medium, although never select YouTube. So you can leave this blank, or you can select where you played it off of. And the year is sometimes automatically filled out when you fill out the other information. Since this song was in the database, it added the duration for me. And as you can see, it calculates the end time. So when I click submit, it moves the start time forward the duration of the last song. So you won't have to worry about updating this once you filled out the first track. If you are live logging your playlist, meaning you're filling it out as you're broadcasting, you can go to the settings and choose clock. Hit submit. And you'll notice that the clock is moving in real time. So as you can see, it moved to 8:39. And you'll do the same thing all the fields we need are filled out, and you'll see the clock will continue to move. So when you click submit, it will lock down the start time. If we go back to the settings, you'll see there's another option that's stop clock when I start typing, which is exactly what it sounds like. The clock will be moving, and this assumes that you hit play on the CD or drop the needle. And as soon as I start typing into this field, this clock will stop, assuming that I immediately clicked play and now I am logging. So that is the start time. As you can see, the clock stopped and we can hit submit. If you make a mistake on one of your spins, you can easily just click the field, make your edit, and hit the check mark. You can also select the pencil icon on the far right of any spin, and it'll bring it back up to the top, so you can make your edits and resubmit. The trash icon will delete a spin, and the magnifying glass icon will give you suggested corrections if it thinks you typed something in wrong. It might not always return one. In the upper right-hand corner, you'll see Add Non-Music item. You are welcome to add a set break, but it is not required. You can say that your set break was 5 minutes long. It'll move it forward for you. Make sure it's at the right start time. You can write a title and description for your set break. You can even add images and links, and you can go ahead and click submit. Since we're on clock mode, it did not move our time forward, so you want to keep an eye on that. If you opt out of using non-music breaks, just be sure that the start time of your next track accounts for the duration break. So you just want to move this a little bit forward. Spin start times don't need to be perfect, just do your best. To the right of the non-music items, you'll see an eye icon. This allows you to view the public page of your playlist. It won't allow me to see it right now because this particular playlist has not been published yet. That is what this green color indicates. When these spins are published, they will turn gray. Notice that there's no submit button on your playlist. You enter each spin and they get published when you hit submit. So when you're done here, you don't need to click anything else. Each spin is published individually. When the broadcast comes and goes, then you will have a visible playlist like this. You'll also see when you go to the corresponding episode page on the KBOO website that this playlist is now integrated onto that page. You'll just want to make sure that the start time and duration of your Spinitron playlist matches the start time and duration of your episode page. If you notice that your playlist is not appearing on the website and you check the date and time of your playlist and made sure that it matches the episode page, you'll want to check the timestamps or duration of your spins. If these are unset, then the spin will not be published. If you checked both these items and neither of them are errors, you can contact web@kboo.org. To locate a pre-existing playlist, you can go up to Playlist and Browse. You can find your playlist here and go through the pages. You can even search by a window of time. You can search by the title of the playlist or who created it. You can use the icons to the right. You can click the eye icon to view the playlist. You can click edit to go back to the form and then enter more spins or edit your spins. You can select rebroadcast here. If you rebroadcast an episode, you don't need to re-enter your spins. You just need to set a new date and time and then hit submit. The public page we already showed you. This particular playlist has not been published yet, so there is no public page yet. You can easily go back to editing a playlist by clicking the pencil icon here. You can select the trash icon to delete the whole playlist, and you can quickly get back to rebroadcasting a playlist by clicking this button here. So there's multiple ways to get to the rebroadcast and edit button. Now that you know how to fill out a playlist, we can talk a little bit about your profile. Your DJ profile is the public profile attached to each playlist. Your user account is private and only used for administrative purposes. If you go up to your name in the right-hand corner, you can click DJ profile to see your public profile. You can give yourself a name, biography, and more information. If you have a website, you can go ahead and plug it in there and upload an image. If you don't upload one, Spinitron will assign a random one for you. You make changes and select save. You can get to your user account by selecting this button here or selecting it in the drop-down over here. This is again for administrative purposes, so you can change your email if you want to get notifications that way, your phone number, and your name, again, just for use by staff. To edit your program's playlist template, you'll want to locate your show on the schedule page. Select your program and click Edit. Here's where you can change your program's description, the duration, the image that goes with your program, and other fields. You can also add more DJs to your collective by putting their name in here, but they will need a user account. Then you can go ahead and click Save. A question we get a lot is, what do I do if I play a song by an artist that has not published their work yet? You can enter the artist and song, and in the release field, you can put self-released. And you can just put self in the label. If you play a song, but you don't have enough information to fill all the fields, there's a few resources you can use to find that information. You can go to the Sound Exchange database, where you can search the fields you do have and find the information you need. You can also go to Discogs. This is a website for selling music material, but it is actually a very helpful database. All the information you need would be right here. So do your best to get all the fields filled out, including the start time and duration. You're also welcome to import playlist if you happen to organize your playlist on a spreadsheet or maybe a run sheet. You can select the import tab and copy and paste that information here. You can select process and it will sort it out for you and ask you to identify each column. There's a tutorial for that in the training packet you're welcome to look into a little further. So that is how you use Spinitron to log your broadcast.